I think that David said that China's investments in Africa are very popular. I think it would be more accurate to say that China's investments in Africa are very popular with its dictators. I think that I was in Kenya a year and a half ago, and I asked a group of Kenyan parliamentarians what their main concern was. We were talking about democracy, human rights, and things like that. And they said the single biggest concern we have is that China is going around Africa, making deals with Africa's dictators with no questions asked and no accountability on any human rights issues. I would argue that that is possibly an exaggeration, but certainly something that they have to be worried about, and worry about from a long-term geopolitical sense. We discovered in the Middle East that we thought we had very stable relations with all these countries in the Middle East. It turned out we had very stable relations with all the dictators of the Middle East.
Well, hang on a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Fareed, I'm a historian more than I'm a economist. Remind me, are you saying that Western powers never did deals with African dictators? And this is some new and terrible deformity of Chinese policy? You know, I go to Africa, as I said too. I spoke to the miners in the copper belt who had no jobs when the state-owned mining system collapsed, and now have jobs because the Chinese reopened the mines, and not only reopened them, but extended them. It's not fair to say that China only deals with African dictators. It deals with African democracies. It deals with the governments it finds in Africa, including the governments that Western powers propped up for too many years.
I make no apologies for the West on this issue. I make no apologies for the West. I'm simply pointing out that China is doing what it's doing with a leadership class that may not reflect the wishes of the entire African public.
But would you say that would Africa be better off if China didn't invest there?
No, I'm not
Would
saying,
Africa be better off if China wasn't its biggest trading partner? I think that's the kind of hypocritical argument that if I were Chinese, I'd find quite annoying.
You're obviously finding it annoying even though you're not Chinese.